In this video, I'm going to walk you through the process of getting metadata and media files onto the server so you can ingest them into Islandora using Islandora Workbench. If your servers have a drive mounted for transferring files for ingest, you will follow the process outlined in this video. This video assumes that you have already created your CSV and YAML configuration file. The storage drive is mounted to the host server at MNT Ingest. That is where you will store your CSV and media files. The actual Workbench script is located at Home, Islandora, Islandora Workbench. That is where you will run the ingest process. You will upload files using an SFTP application such as CyberDuck. Before you begin, you will need to have your computer's SSH key added to the Islandora user. This allows you to connect to the server, upload files, and run the Workbench script. Your IT department can add your SSH key to the Islandora user's authorized keys file. First, check if your computer has an SSH key. If you aren't sure if you have one or how to check for one, please follow the instructions on the screen. Find your computer's SSH key or generate a new one if you don't have one. For Mac OS and Linux users, check if you have an existing key with the link shown here. These instructions apply in general, but not just for use in GitHub. Your existing key will be in your user's SSH ID RSA pub file. To create a new SSH key, only if you do not have one, follow the link here in 1A II. These instructions too apply in general, not just for use in GitHub. Following these instructions will also add your new key to your ID RSA pub file. For Windows users, refer to the link here in 1BI to check or create a new SSH key if you do not have one. Then, open your user's SSH ID RSA pub file and copy the contents into an email or text file to send on to your IT department to have this SSH key added to the Islandora user's SSH authorized keys file. Now that you have SSH access to the server, download and install your preferred SFTP program on your computer. We use CyberDuck, but any will do. The first time you connect to the server, you'll create a new SFTP connection. Click Open Connection. Make sure the connection type is SFTP. Regular FTP will not connect. Enter the URL of the site minus the HTTP and HTTPS, etc. Leave the port as 22. Use Islandora as the username. Leave the password blank. And click Connect. Now, the first time you do this, you may see an unknown fingerprint pop up. And if you do, just click OK. You will be at the Home Islandora directory when you first log in. You'll see the Islandora Workbench directory, and that's where you'll upload your YAML configuration file and run the Workbench script. Let's create a bookmark here so it will show up in your CyberDuck dashboard the next time you want to log in. Click the action gear icon and then click New Bookmark. And that is showing me what my bookmark is. So I'm just going to close that for now. Before you do anything in the Islandora Workbench folder, you want to navigate to MNT Ingest, which is where you'll be uploading your media files. So click the Home Islandora drop-down, and then click the slash here, which will take you to the root directory. Now, click on MNT and then click on Ingest. You're now in the MNT Ingest directory. If you'd like to create a bookmark here, you can click the action gear icon, New Bookmark, and then I'm going to change the nickname of this bookmark so that I remember that this one is for MNT Ingest. And there's my bookmark. Now in the MNT Ingest folder, you'll see a Lost and Found folder by default, and you can just leave that as is. You might want to create a folder for each batch that you ingest. Once the ingest is complete, you can delete the folder. You'll see there's a test batch folder here that I created previously, but I'm going to create a new folder called test in all caps here. I'm clicking new folder. I'm going to name it test. Double click into your folder. And most clients will allow you to drag and drop files in from your desktop, or you can use a menu option to select the files you want to upload. You're going to put your migration CSV and associated media files here in MNT Ingest. So I'm going to bring all of my media files and my CSV over from my computer. I'm going to drag and drop them right over here. And you'll see this dialog box as they copy over. And I have a few more things I'm going to bring over. My CSV, and a couple more media files. And my upload is complete. Now you're going to go back to Islandora Workbench directory. So we can either do that from here, or we can go to our bookmarks and we can go back to our other bookmark. And here we are in Islandora Workbench. You're going to drag and drop your YAML configuration file into the Islandora Workbench directory. I have a couple here that I'm going to drag over for this. And my upload is complete. After you run your ingest, make sure you go back into the MNT Ingest directory and delete your folder and its contents. Otherwise, you'll end up with a very full ingest drive. Once the files have uploaded successfully, you can close the SFTP client. The next step is to run the Workbench script, which we'll discuss in the next video.